Before we begin, if you have not subscribed to my channel, it would be so helpful if you did. Thank you, and let's get to it. Hello and welcome, my name is Kevin, the student for Bruce. We're here in CK3 once more with our Immortal Timelapse. This time we're back with our Isle of Immortals, where we now have given them all the ability to be a 100 stat man. Thanks for the people who suggested using Daddy Pika's menu, which allows you to make essentially 100 stat mans easier with just giving a stat rather than manually going in and creating them with debug mode. So this is going to be a little different because we have 91 of these boys and girls out here doing their thing, kicking butt, taking names. So we'll see how well they do. My guess is it's going to be a crapshoot. Any of these guys are probably going to take off and be super powerful. Once again, I think they'll probably expand all of Europe and Russia. I think that's where the cutoff line will be, at least in this orientation. I think they'll form the Britannia Empire and just expand all over the world. Catholics will be the most dominant faith because of them being majority of them being actually Catholic, except for one or two are actually true, but my likelihood is not high. And finally, I think about 25 of the 91 will survive this whole ordeal. Usually these boys and girls don't have a high likely chance of killing each other due to just being, bordering each other and having different ideologies. So let us see what happens with this wonderful, terrible island of immortal 100 stat people. So I'll see you in the end. All right, here we are in the post. It looks like England is our winner, with Wales being a second place. Both of them seem to be run by very large, thick, immortal 100 stat man. It's funny that Wales and England are both able to coexist as empires in the same area. That's when in the time lapse it looked like East Anglia was going to take off, and then Wales took over its supremacy, and then Kent turned into England and went on from there to be the most powerful realm of all the land, it seems like. With 303 troops, that's quite a lot of troops. I imagine if I try to load into that character, the game would just crash, and that would be rough. Looking around the map too, we have Kingdom of the Populous Uprising. I don't think I've ever seen a kingdom pop off like this in this form, and it looks like it's being passed down from generation to generation. Usually it's like they actually get a name rather than the Kingdom of Popular Uprising, which that seems like a bug or something. And as usual, I don't know why, but the Byzantines decide, yeah, it's time for us to also pop off. They always seem to blob out when there are other immortals, even though they themselves are not the immortals. They have, I think, family-wise, this is one of the immortal families, but they, for whatever reason, are continuously able to expand. Let's go look at religion real quick. It looks like Catholic is the most dominant faith, as I predicted, but that wasn't a gimme. That was going to be no matter what. I had a feeling as soon as you have more than one or two Catholic immortals, it becomes pretty easy to steamroll the other faiths, just because you have so much power comparatively. Yeah, Sunni second, Orthodox third, Coptic coming in with a weird taking parts of Africa and all that. As for our living immortals, I think I counted 31 of them still living, all around the 600, 650 age. A lot of them blind or disfigured. A lot of issues going on with being living that long, but that's what happens when you live to be this old. For the most part, a lot of them are unlanded, but some of them are barons. It looks like small lordships of counties. Is it the county title? Yes, the county title. Surprisingly, some of them are in charge of mercenary companies. A decent amount of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them. But still, we have our two thick boys leading the charge. Weird when they decide what to convert and what not to convert. I would like to see what the idea, what each AI puts into stock, because they did a lot of heavy conversion in this area. Maybe because he personally owned these lands at one point, so he was like, we're going to convert it. I'm unsure. Usually they just convert, the characters themselves convert to the land around them. What was my guess? I guessed they would get as far as Russia. It looks like they went much farther. When the Mongols spawned, I was afraid that they were just going to get steamrolled, but by that point they probably England had too big of a force to be conquered or subjugated, but it could have been a possibility. Good to see the islands are very, very developed. Looks like also same with these. What are the main what was your main learning abilities? Where are you? Oh, you were just an okay soldier, and you were a steward who probably did all of his things. This is something that I don't understand the AI does, maybe just because they don't realize that they can switch, but for whatever reason they do not switch from their main focus. They always they say marshal if they're marshal, they stay steward if they're steward, and so on and so forth. For whatever reason they never decide to change their focus. I'm not sure why, but you think in 600 years you'd get tired of learning the same thing and try to go for the other abilities and stuff. A lot of houses being spawned by the immortals. 24. Let's see about this guy. Only 11. Much smaller. Wonder if they just got a later start or they just don't have as much children and stuff. It looks like he didn't have as many kids. And his wife is immortal. Oh, that's fun. I love that. I love when the two immortals live on forever. Imagine the relationship they have is wild, to say the least. That they're just in love or not in love. They're married in perpetuity until one of them dies, unlike this one. And that's probably why his house was so much smaller, because he was married to an immortal. Okay, that tracks. That tracks well. I get that. But yeah, pretty successful for our 31 who survived out of the 91. Yeah. All right, I think that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe as usual. Let me know what else you'd like to see on this channel as always, and have a good rest of your day. Ciao.